What is familiar is going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel normal. It's going to feel right, even when it's very, very, very wrong. Often we familiarize ourselves with a level of suffering that is truly unnecessary. We familiarize ourselves with abuse. We familiarize ourselves with neglect. We familiarize ourselves with having not enough or just enough to get by. And this familiarization is experienced through the body, through what has been internalized within the body. And one of the most detrimental familiarizations that we have created through our conditioning, and that has been created within us through our conditioning, is the familiarization of relying on something external to have belief in ourselves. To believe that we are sufficient enough, to believe that we are enough, is coming from an external source. And when we rely on an external source to believe in ourselves, we are inhibiting ourselves from being able to experience the fullness of our magnificence, the fullness of our creative expression, and the entirety of our desire that is always going to expand and change. But you can expand and change in ways that are familiar and simultaneously detrimental, and you can also expand and change in ways that are increasingly more beneficial to yourself and to humanity, and that are simultaneously unfamiliar. You have yet to tap into that territory because of the conditioning. To identify with something that is not serving you, and it's not serving your desire, which more often than not we aren't even clear on, is to rob yourself of this creative gift, to rob yourself of a life that is fulfilling. And aside from fulfilling, a life that you deserve, that is worth your time, that is worth your energy. How do we know when it's not worth our energy? Do we feel tired, restless? Are you experiencing feelings of insecurity, anxiety, depression, a lack of certainty, a lack of faith, belief in that which we cannot see? While being a being, while being ourselves. And to be ourselves is to experience a materialized reality through a thought form, through a sustained thought form. When we lack faith, we lack our ability to be in our true essence. Because it remains true that the thoughts that you have create the life that you experience. Can you see a thought? Can you physically see a thought as it passes through your brain, as it passes through your mind? Can you physically see the millions of thoughts that you have throughout the days? No, you cannot see your thoughts. But over time, your thoughts will solidify right before your eyes. So to lack this faith is to lack the natural way, to lack in your understanding of the natural way. You must have faith. You must believe in what is not right in your face. But you also must be responsible for the thoughts that you think. And when you allow these external sources, these externalities, to move you, to be your motivation, you are subjecting yourself to a desire that does not reside in your heart, or you are subjecting yourself to an immense limitation. And often this limited vision, this limited perspective of what is possible for you manifests in a way that is not beyond not pleasurable. It is painful. It is familiar. So you must audit yourself. You must reflect on what has become familiar to you, what feels normal to you, that you know is in fact hurting you, and you know is in fact a pattern, a behavior that no longer serves you, and that will not allow you to move beyond the realm of survival into the experience of thriving in your life, of growing. If you are meant to only survive, then the Creator would not have made it so that a single strawberry could create so many strawberries in perpetuity. The Creator would not have created self-sustaining food forests that can feed people, many, many people, continually, without even needing to go every day and water every single plant. The Creator would not have allowed it to be that generation after generation after generation, thought after thought after thought, prayer, belief, culture, all of these things, they would not have multiplied and ultimately led to you and your expression, your authenticity, your authentic desire, what you actually truly desire. What is familiar to you at this time that you know you must let go of? And how exactly are we going to move from one state of familiarity that is comfortable into a state of creating something new, making that new thing familiar, because we have decided that's what we want to be normal to us. That's what we want the standard to be. So instead of believing my bare minimum is paycheck to paycheck, or my bare minimum is feeling okay and not excellent, you raise the standard to your bare minimum being that all your needs are taken care of and your desires are still able to be experienced. Not only do you have your rent paid, not only do you have all the foods that you like and that you enjoy that are healthy to you, not only have you been able to acquire the essentials, transportation, you're also able to experience things that are nourishing to the soul. You're also able to invest in experiences that will teach you far beyond what a simple book or a podcast or a video can teach you. I understand that when you're in a position of pain that has become familiar, that it's difficult to see beyond that scope of awareness. And I've been there. I was able to learn, and not only learn by way of reading and watching and listening, but by way of putting it to the test. seeing for myself. This is why often when we achieve something through external means, we find ourselves right back at square one where we're questioning, well, now what? With barely any of an idea of what direction we're going to go in or what direction we want to go in. Often I speak with clients and I become curious because it's helpful to know what a situation is, what the situation is, where you're at this time, so that we can both assess where we're going and why we're going there, to ensure that where we're choosing to go isn't based and rooted in what is detrimental yet familiar, and so it feels like it's okay when it's absolutely not okay. It is not okay for you to go without your needs. It is not okay for you to be treated poorly. It is not okay for you to allow people to walk all over you. It is not okay for you to hide such a magnificent gift, to withhold a magnificent gift that you have within yourself from the world when it is needed. When you're familiar with not questioning your life, not questioning your experience, it requires an external source to sort of come to you and say, hey, what's going on with you? Hey, what direction are you headed in? Hey, what's your true heart's desire right now? And those are the people that you appreciate because they expand your mind. They expand the box that you've placed yourself in. And this is a continual journey. The expansion will continue. You have to be able to reflect, and I repeat this so often. And not only do you reflect, you solidify that reflection, that desire to know yourself by way of taking action. You write it down. Take a piece of paper and write down where you are and where you would like to be in respect to what you love to do. And realize that you have a limitation. What you believe is possible. Go beyond the limiting perspective that you have. Dream big. And beyond dream, think big. Speak big. Take up space. Not to express in a way that doesn't feel authentic to you, but to be radically authentic. So if you're speaking big and you're thinking big by way of imagining yourself embodying more silent observation, by embodying and observing yourself in a way that is reflective and not at all putting yourself out there, because that's not what you're aiming for. This is also thinking big. So when I'm saying think big, I'm not saying, be the star of the show. What I mean is go beyond your scope. Go beyond the conditioning. Be aware of the conditioning. What happens once we get our degree? What do we think? We often think, okay, well, now I'm going to go find a job where they accept my credentials. Now I'm going to go find a path that is available to me online. But you don't know how something will come to you. And if you limit yourself to online or, Indeed, to find a way to align to your job or whatever it is that you're aiming for, you are going to close every other avenue because you're hyper fixated on the one way that you know how to do something. And again, your thoughts are what materializes. Your thoughts are what you become aware of, because your brain has a function through the reticular activating system. This is a filtration system within your mind that will make it very apparent to you all of the thoughts that you believe. And when the belief is that I can only get a job through Indeed, or I can only get a job on Craigslist, or I can only find a house by renting it through this online site, when you believe that, your brain will confirm that. And everything you hear and see will only be in alignment with that belief. But when you start opening yourself to the reality, which is that there is not a limitation except the one you hold in your mind, when you start believing in the reality that you don't know exactly how this thing is going to come to you ultimately, and that it can come to you from the most unimaginable pathway, the most unimaginable door can open right before you. But even if it was right under your nose, right in your face, you wouldn't be able to see it, because your belief, because of the function of the reticular activating system within your brain, that is only confirming to you the belief that you hold. Move beyond the limitation. You got your degree in biology? Do not confine yourself to what is simply readily available online. You got your degree in political science? Do not confine yourself to the idealization that there isn't that many jobs, or that you don't know, and whatever it is, whatever is going through your mind, and apply that to whatever you got your degree in. And then realize that the only way you're going to know what you want to do is if you take some time to sit with yourself and you start thinking big, and you decide what you want to do with your life. You decide where you want to go, how you want it to be, down to the dime, down to the penny. Go and be very, very clear. Create immense levels of clarity. Don't leave the details out. Not to control how it happens to you, but to know yourself and to allow yourself to experience this world and your responsibilities in a way that aligns to your soul, your heart, what you desire truly, authentically. There was an example that was taught to me, and it goes like this. If you go on Amazon and you go buy yourself, for example, you want to buy yourself, let's say, a light for making content. Are you just going to type in light and then pick any old one? No. Because as soon as you type in light, a million options are going to come in. Even if you say ring light for content, there's going to be like 30 different ring lights that you can choose from. And there is a very specific one that's going to serve what you are wanting. And it could be overwhelming sometimes because there's just too many options and you don't even want to think about it. That's the block. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do this. If you don't want to do this, somebody else is going to do it for you. Or you're just going to be given something, you're going to order that light, it's going to come in the mail, and you're going to realize, man, like, I don't really like this one. It's not that quality that I'm aiming for. So you have to be specific. You can't just go on Amazon or whatever website and randomly type something in and not go through the various different selections that have been made available to you. Right? Makes sense? So you have to be very clear on yourself. And you have to, at the very least, before you even get clear on yourself as to which one you're going to choose, become very clear on your heart, on your soul. Integrate the reality that you don't have to be confined by your own conditioning. You are capable of moving beyond that. And why do we do that? We do it because we deserve it. We do it because we understand that what is familiar isn't always good for you or anybody else. We do it because we are gifted. And the only way you and others are going to be able to experience that gift is when you allow, when you choose, when you decide. So you must decide. You acknowledge the old belief, the old limitation. You decide after acknowledging it. I no longer choose to believe this as the only reality for myself. I no longer choose to. Once you have established that choice within you, you create a new belief, a new choice. I now choose to believe this for myself and my life. And that is how you start to open these doors. That is how the confirmation bias isn't limited to something that you don't even want or you don't even know you want. So I am grateful for you being here. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep learning about these things. And know that I offer one-on-one sessions and group sessions where I provide what is called scalar plasma therapy. And I teach you how to address the limitations within the body by activating your awareness, by creating a connection to the body, which is comprised of multiple layers. It is comprised of your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic body. We approach it holistically. It removes blockages from your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body. I will guide you through certain breath mechanics that you can utilize to navigate the day-to-day obstacles that we are faced, that are immense. And ultimately, I guide you towards clarifying the direction that you truly wish to go in. I guide you towards a healthier state of being. And the best part of it is that I also apply what is called scalar plasma. And scalar plasma is the primordial substance of the universe. It precedes all physical matter. It is able to transcend space and time. So the scalar waves are instantaneously healing. And you can be affected all the way down to the genetic level from a distance. Now you have this power within you. You don't need the external tool. You don't need the oxygen chambers. You don't need the scalar plasma outside of you. You don't need the pills. You don't need anything. You have everything within you, but you do need the awareness, and you are the awareness. So I'm helping you establish a new connection to yourself that will benefit you for a lifetime. And there is no limit to the depths in which this benefit will improve your life, and therefore will improve the ones around you that you serve. On a small scale, a large scale, it's all connected. We're all one. So give thanks. Be grateful, practice gratitude, and I trust that you're going to have an amazing day. I trust that you're going to have a restful night. Reach out to me. You can follow me on Instagram, you could DM me, you could email me. Appreciate you.